Welcome to CAS133 Hybrid using an online program called Collaborate. It's what we'll be using for our hybrid portion of the class meetings. So let's go talk a little bit about Moodle. When you go to the Columbia Gorge website, in the past we've used the www.cgcc.cc.or.us and it still gets you here, but you will notice they have a slightly new web address that they're using. And when you arrive here, you're going to get to the Moodle login page. When you arrive at the Moodle login page, you will have already created your account, hopefully, but if not, you need to create a new account. You need to go ahead and enter your account name and your login after you've followed all of these directions. And one of the big directions on this page is it will send you an email to the address you used. You have to go to that email and you have to click on it before your account really becomes a real account and is viewable by the instructors to be able to enroll you into Moodle. The other thing is, if it asks you about a surname, that is your last name, and you need to use the same first name and last name that's shown on your student records for Columbia Gorge Community College. So if you've recently married, divorced, changed your name, whatever, you need to either update student services or you need to make Moodle match, because to be able to give grades, we have to have matching accounts. Once you arrive, you're going to go into where it says CAS133, and you'll be looking for the hybrid. There may be two of them, some terms there are. And once you log in, you'll see something that looks like this. That means you have now arrived. You are in the class and you're ready for a tour. Class is structured fairly simply. Almost everything you need to know is down the middle. So as you go down the middle, you'll see basically a very large introduction to the class that's kind of like, please read this. Then you're going to see the course information for the Start Here information, which will help you get ready to start the class. That's where you're going to find this video linked to. There's a transcript for it here if it's not on YouTube. If it's on YouTube, it'll have closed captioning. The instructor and class information here, basic class structure information here, which is required reading to help you understand kind of how the class is set up and what works. What you need to be successful in the class syllabus. Some instructors require you to take a test on the syllabus. I do not, but I do suggest you read it, and probably even wise to print a copy and keep near your computer with your other information for the class, so that if you have any questions, you can refer back to it. Course content and outcomes, that's what you're supposed to be learning. If you have any questions on grading, check out the grading rubric. If you're wondering, when does she grade extra credit? When does she grade papers? When does things get done? How many points are taken off for this or that? Check out the grading rubric. Late work policy, there are some directions that have to be followed should you reach a situation where you in fact have late work. Anytime you're online and working in an online class, there's some basic rules and guidelines that are sort of expected levels of behavior in a class. So you need to check out the etiquette sites. Sometimes students like to earn extra credit. If you're interested in extra credit, you want to know the rules, the requirements, what needs to be done to count as extra credit, read the extra credit link. There are some extra credit picture files that may need to be used, and I used to let you go hunt those down, but there have been some problems with people locating them, so there's the link. The calendar of due dates basically just pushes you back over to the Moodle calendar. This is one form you should be checking often, like 3 times a week probably. It will also send you emails to your email address, and those emails are required. You cannot opt out. And those emails are basically class announcements. If we were a face-to-face class and we were having a change of due dates, or there was a link that wasn't working suddenly, because as we all know, web links can change on a day-to-day basis, let alone week-to-week or month-to-month. If there was anything else for the good of the order that you needed to know as a student for this class, maybe a same question has come up 4 or 5 times, and I'm just going to answer it for everybody, so everybody knows the answer. Those types of things come through the forum. Should a class be canceled for any reason? again, would come through that forum. So it's really important you do read those. They will go to your outside email, which is whatever you listed when you registered into Moodle. Now, here is a suggestion. I suggest for college classes you use your student college email. One of the biggest frustrations online instructors have the first week before class and really the first week of class is getting all the email situations straightened around. People are using Hotmail, they're using Yahoo, they're using Gmail. They have 4 or 5 different email accounts. Maybe some are old ones, whatever, and they're not being used anymore. And what ends up happening is we can't get a hold of students, or we're sending messages to one account and you're checking another account. So I encourage you to set your student services email for your college email account and set Moodle for that. Coffee shop is basically a chit-chat place for you guys to discuss, hey, I need a ride, anybody want to do a study group, those types of things. You can ask a question, but they're not designed to be like, would the teacher, instructor, please help me with this type of question. They're also not designed to be like personal information forums like, I just don't understand why you graded this page this way. I'm confused. Could you please explain my grade? That needs to be done in a personal email. Remember, everybody gets a copy of all the forums. You don't want to be discussing your grade on the forums. Then the resources for CAS133. These are class links. These are kind of your tech support, your how-tos, your orientations. If you're under ADA with some sort of disability information, what do you need to do? Student services, the ebook, the book website. I say in there a lot of times that you need a PC, but you don't know exactly what a PC is. You want to make sure you have the right thing. Check that out. How to edit your name in Moodle. I can show you really quickly. It's very simple. Go up to the participants. Find you. Find edit, and simply go through and change whatever needs to be edited. You can add your picture, you can change your description, you can change your email address or your name. Should you have something wrong, should you be George instead of George Smith, you can go fix those types of things. Then there's some other things that will show up here and go away. Inserting pictures shows up for week 3. How to take a test shows up for week 3. It comes and goes. First form shows up for the first week. Oh, and when you're doing the PowerPoints, if you don't know how to get the sound working on them, here's something to check out. Then you'll come into your first week of work. It'll say week 1. May have the wrong dates right on this one, but it'll get changed for the week that you're doing it in. That's something I reset each term. These are kind of the optional things. These are things that'll help you with the unit. They're on the topic of the unit. Like, oh, I need to use a zipped folder. I've never heard of one. I don't know anything about it. Go check out a zipping a folder. These are the instructional materials. These are the ones that we'll kind of go over in part, at least during our class sessions. We may not do them in full, but they're the ones that we'll kind of touch on and talk about the highlights of at least. Those are important that you open that folder. And if I am for sure taking computers class, I need to do computers basic. If I'm using Paint in a Windows 7 version, I look at that one. If I'm doing Paint in an XP or Vista, I look at that one, since some of you will have different operating systems. So you'll pick the one that works for you and you'll view it. Here are your unit goals. That goes back to that top one that we talked about, the course outcomes. So that's what for this week. The direction summaries are just that. They're a summary. They're not 100% of what you need to do. In fact, it says right here, you need to make sure you view those PowerPoints. However, this kind of gives you a recap of it, so you know what you need to be doing. And hopefully don't miss something. Come down to the summary. The summary is like a checklist at the end. Check, did I do it? Check, did I do it? Check, did I do it? Oh dear, I forgot that one. I better go do it. That's exactly what it was designed to be, was at the end checklist before you say the week is done. And then sometimes there need to be other directions or other materials that you need available. This one has a performance test direction there available for you. This one has some downloads that you're going to need for this week. That's week 2. So that's available. And week 2 is set up that if you don't have Office, you can do it with internet, using a TXT file, using WordPad for both of those. The first 2 weeks you can get by without the book. It's not ideal, but you can get by. Sometimes you're waiting for financial aid or something like that. The second thing you can get by without is Office 2010 for the first 2 weeks. Starting the 3rd week, that all changes. You'll need to either have your own textbook or try to use the one copy that's kept on the Dalles campus in the library during library hours. You cannot take it out. You cannot check it out. And there could be up to 40 students needing to use that same copy, potentially between the classes. So please make sure that you plan early in the week and get your own book quickly. The other thing is Office 2010. You either need to own it, therefore it's on your machine, or you need to plan to be using the library's machines or another machine that has the same software. One warning, I've heard the Hood River County has Linux and does not have Office, so that may not be an option for the Hood River County Library. The Dalles County Library, I don't know for sure, but I think they have them in Wasco County Library. The problem you need to make sure is what are the time limits and what are the hours? Do you have to sign up ahead? I mean, what are the rules and regs that go with those public places? Same go with family and friends. Have they upgraded suddenly on you? Do they actually have a PC machine? Do they have the right type of software? When you say, hey, bud, can I borrow your computer? Did they mean an iPad? Because you can't do this class on an iPad. I love my iPad. I have nothing against them. They just won't work for this class. Okay. Now, right now, these are closed off because this is actually still under construction. That's what we're working on right now. But when it's time to submit the work, these will be open in blue just like these. And what you will basically do is follow the links to do the upload. So each week I open and close these various links. So should I open those links right now, what would happen is because you're already logged on, you won't see those links have opened. And what you actually have to do is refresh your page to be able to see those links have opened. So if we're in class and I'm doing something like this during one of our class sessions, just remember it doesn't magically show up on your screen when I open it. You're going to have to reach up and do a refresh. And I'm going to take a second and show you how to do that so that you have it. Now you won't ever see these little eyes and things on yours, so I will put it back so it looks like it does on yours. And then you have to reach up and do a refresh. This is the round circle. It says refresh, and your machine should then refresh the page and you would have the links open. So if you're open in the middle when I'm doing that, just know that. If I was doing a WordPad assignment, I click on here. It gives me some directions, kind of talks me through it. And it says, upload this file. Browse. Well, browse means go look for it. Where did I put it? So if I completed the file, I have to go find it. A lot of times you guys are going to be out on flash drives, so you're going to be looking out here under the area for your flash drive. Sometimes it's going to be on your desktop, and you're going to be looking on your desktop to find the file, whatever that file is. And then once you found it, whatever it happens to be, maybe that's my file, and I'm going to hit upload or browse. I'm going to hit and then hit upload. So it's just a couple of clicks. Once I've uploaded the file, it will end up right here, and I'm able to view that file. That'll let me know that I have uploaded it. Now, if the upload here says WordPad and you're putting something else other than the WordPad file there, you're not uploading the right assignment. So please make sure that your WordPad assignment matches with your WordPad link. Because unfortunately, if they don't, it creates quite a problem for getting a grade. Also, at the end of the week, you should be able to go back and view what has been done. So there are some links over here. You won't see them all because some of them are teacher links. So we're going to make this look like a student account. And under assignments, I could now see if I have submitted my assignment and if my instructor has graded the assignment, and if so, what the grade is. And then I should be able to go back, and there will be feedback in on this page after it's graded telling you what I thought of it. It might be just a 20 telling you have 100% perfect credit, life goes on, or there may be a note that you need to redo it, or you have a mistake or something like that. If you have a D or an F during that week of extra time between when it was due the first time and when it won't be accepted any later, you can go back and redo it for credit. However, if you wait a week or two to go back and read your information from Moodle because it's going to an account with so much spam, or a shared account and somebody deleted your email, some of those types of things, you'll find that you missed that opportunity. Forms, this is where you find one way to find your forms. This lists out all the forms available at that time. However, most times, most students simply use the forum link provided for the week. When you go in to do a forum, you read my information, you add a new discussion, you type in your discussion and your topic with your title. You can choose to not get all the emails from it, but then that means you are responsible for going in and reading everybody's posts. I prefer to just get the email, and you post it to the forum. Then you also need to go back in and look at the forum list, find where somebody has completed the introduction form, and do at least one reply to another person. If you don't do the reply, you only have 50% of the credit for that assignment. So that gives you a little tour of Moodle, a little tour of how to get set up and get going, a little bit of idea how to change your name or your email address if you want to, kind of how the class is structured and where you'll find things for the class and how to submit your work. But notice almost everything is straight down the middle. If you start at the top of the week and go straight through the week, you really shouldn't miss anything that you need to do. Reading is imperative on both hybrids and on online classes because so much of it has to be presented that way. Also, make sure you build into your schedule the time to make sure you attend our weekly class sessions, just like you would for any face-to-face class that you're scheduling to take, since those sessions are a part of your grade, a part of your attendance. If you have any questions, I ask that you go to your outside email, whatever that may be, and email me, versus posting it in the forum coffee shop area. I do track my email. You can expect to hear within 24 hours, even though the college allows 48. And I'm usually well under the 24 unless I happen to be on the road and in some bad reception areas. So that gives you just a little bit of background. Hope it helps you get started in Moodle. And welcome to CAS 133.